if else combinations. Let us try the other combinations. No, only if combination. Only if. Look at the point. Statement 1. Statement 2. If condition statement 3. Statement 4. Now I don't have any else condition here. I had only if condition. So if the condition is true, I want to implement a particular logic. If condition is false, I don't have any specific logic to be implemented. Implement this only when the condition is true. If the condition is false, I don't have any logic to be implemented. Then I am going to give if statement 1, statement 2, right? Statement 1, statement 2, if condition, statement 3, statement 4, statement 5 and 6. Now, when the condition is true, what is the possibility of the output what we are going to get? We are going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. The statements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are going to be implemented. Suppose if the condition is false, then I have the execution. 1, 2, 5, 6. If the condition is true, run those statements. If the condition is false, don't run those statements. In the yesterday's example, I have if else. If condition is true, what to be implemented? If condition is false, what not to be implemented? Okay, what should be implemented? I have given if else. But in this case, I have only if. So look at this example I have. This is not a program again, snippet of the code. Let us take a program first. Asked price of book. Make it here. Name of the company. How many employees we have? How many years of experience? If your city is Hyderabad, then I'll give straight away. I'll give. It's okay. I'll give 50,000 plus 10,000 bonus to make it simple. create the logic for this. Write the logic for this. So what is the data that is involved here? Data that is involved is a name, and we have experience, city, Bangalore, salary. This is what the data we have. Then we are supposed to take string we have string I took only 50,000, 60,000, so it is integer. If you want to take a 0.00, it is a decimal. If city equal to Hyderabad, now what happened? If I have taken city name as Hyderabad, so 50,000 plus 10,000 will be the salary. Otherwise, only 50,000. The salary value is 50,000. The salary is 50,000. Salary is 50,000. If city is Hyderabad, salary will be 60,000. I have taken 10,000 directly, no? Right, boss?
Satish, we can also use system.debug in scope, right?
Yes, we can do that. But if you write within the scope, salary will not be printed if condition is false. If I write it outside,
so
whether the condition is true or not, this is printing. If I write within
since we have only two statements, we can use that, right?
No, that is not the point. The question is, if I write this here, let us say I have given this. Now, when this system.debug will run, only when the condition is true. If condition is false, what is the salary? I don't know. You are not going to print it. I want to print the salary irrespective of whether condition is true or false. Now let us say I executed it. Now I give city equal to Bangalore. Now we are not getting any salary. Why? Because condition is False. Condition is false. If the condition is false, the statement is not running. But if I write it outside, irrespective of whether statement is true or false, the statement is going to run. If this is true, this will run, then this will run. If this is false,
Yeah.
this will run directly.
Yeah.
So I want to
Yeah,
print the
correct.
salary irrespective of whether condition is true or false. What is the value we got? 50. Right, boss? Clear? Right.
Yeah.
Let us go to the next one. Now, yeah. Do this example. So how did you create that? So we have close date equal to today. Close date is system.today. Then we have amount equal to 10,000 or 1 lakh. Then add a condition. If stage name is closure 1, Then I want to print it.
I have one question over here.
Yes.
Now, type, is it a specific word? Because I'm trying to do this on console. It's giving me a like it's a
It's a data type.
okay. Yeah, it's big. Okay.
So it's not data type, it's a keyword actually. It's a keyword, predefined keyword. So if the stage name is closed one, rating is hot, type is new customer. If stage name is not closed one, then rating is null, type is null. You can say blank. Rating is blank and type is blank. Done.
Satish, can you explain the plus flow date?
I'll be
What
doing
is that
later.
plus?
I'll be covering it later.
Okay.
In a different context. Out of practice, I've written this. Right. People are good with this? Follow. Then we have given if else. The basic is enough for us now. Okay. Let us go to next format. Let us go to next format. We have given if else. Two statements you have seen. The combinations are there, we'll see it further. As of now, everybody is comfortable with this. Right. Next, I want to go for creating a method. What is a method? What is the advantage of going for a method? What is a method? What is the advantage of going for a method? Now, in some of the context, people call it as a procedure. Some people will call it as a function. Some people will call it as a method. In different languages, different terminologies are used. But at the end of the game, the core objective of all these three are same. So, procedure, method, function. Now, what is the difference between these three? Let us say, I called my office boy. I told Prasad, take this 1,000 rupees, go to the restaurant, have your lunch, come back. Have your lunch and come back. Go to restaurant, have your lunch, come back. Now this guy took this 1,000 rupees. He went to the restaurant. He had his food. He collected the change. He came back. He came back. Then what he is doing? He has done the operation. He has done the operation. He has done the operation, right? Now, regularly there's a procedure. I told this Prasad, every day what he is going to do is, when I say have lunch means, the moment I say, Prasad, go and have your lunch. You will come to my account stream, you will collect 1,000 rupees, you will go to a restaurant, you will have food, you will collect the change, you will come back, you will give the change to account stream. Now this is the procedure we follow. I told every day I will not tell this is the procedure you have to follow. I already told have lunch means go to reception, take 1,000 rupees, Go to restaurant, have your food, collect the change, come back, give the change to accounts team. Now, when I want to tell him have lunch, what I will say? When I say have lunch, automatically all these are implemented. All these group of actions are implemented. I will not say go to accounts team, collect the money, go to restaurant, have your food, go to pay the bill, collect the change, come back to institute, give the money. Every time I don't want to tell all this. Every day I don't want to tell all this. Every day I don't want to tell all this. So what I told? I gave an instruction. Have lunch means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. So next time when I want to say, Prasad, have your lunch, automatically the guy will follow the steps. Now what is that? If you want a group of statements to run together, if you want any action to be performed, then we will define like a procedure or a function or a method. It is a group of statements, written group of statements combined under one name. Group of statements combined under one name. Whenever I want, I will call that name. This group of statements will run. Are you getting my point? Group of statements are combined under one name. Group of statements are combined under one name. Whenever I call that name, this group of statements will run. Now, once again, I'll give it here. Try to understand the point. Look at this. I have now this group of statements are there. When I run this, what is the output we are going to get? Line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. Again, if I want to run the same statements, again if I want to run the same statements, Are you getting my point? So whenever, if the same set of action I am performing, if I want to do it again and again I have to define it. To avoid this, what we are doing, to avoid this group of statements kept in a scope. For the scope, we gave a name. I gave a group of statements kept in a scope. I gave a name for it. Now, what I am now calling this? I am calling this as, if I want to execute this, I will say show. The moment I say show, what it will do? When I say show, again I want to run. When I say show, what is happening? Again, the same set of statements are running. Again I want to run. Are you getting my point? So, group of statements are defined under one name. Boss, if you want to run these statements, if you want to run this group of statements, call with that name. If I call with that name, then group of statements will be running. What is the advantage of this? Define once, use number of times. Define once, okay. Define once, use number of times. Define once, use number of times. Are you getting my point? Define once, use number of times. Are you getting my point? What is the advantage? Burden of writing again and again is reduced. Burden of writing again and again is reduced. So, this group is called a procedure or a function or a method. There is a difference, we'll discuss. But purpose have we followed? Right? Now, what is that? If you want to perform a group of steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I want to run. If I want to run again I have to write. Again, if I want to do, again I have to write. Boss, when you are trying to perform the same logic, why are you writing the program again and again? The same logic already defined, the same thing you want to implement again, why are you writing again? The solution is put those statements in the scope, Give a name to a scope. So how do you give? Name followed by these braces. I will give name followed by these braces. Right? Name followed by these braces, put them. How will you call? Call with them. The moment I call, there will be indicator. Are you getting my point? So I told Prasad, take the money, go to restaurant, have food, come back, give the change. This is what I told. Now, this is a procedure. Procedure means group instructions are given. Group of statements with instructions. He is just following the instructions, completing the work. The next step. This Prasad, after going to the restaurant, having the food, coming back, I am expecting a feedback from him. What is the feed? Whether food is good or bad, I want expecting. He is not conveying any message. He took the money, went to a restaurant, have food, paid the bill, come back, give the change. Now, did he complete the work? Work is completed, but he is not mentioning anything specific. After completing the work, if you come back and say, boss, food is good, food is bad, or this is the balance, then it will be good for me. But he has completed the work, but not giving anything. He is not giving any specific output for me. Are you getting? Work is done. Statements are executed, but he is not conveying any final conclusion of that. After performing this activity, any one of the final conclusion is not giving me. Okay. Next we have function. So what is that? Procedure will not have any run type. You are not expecting anything from you back. Procedure is not expecting anything back. You go, complete the work and come back. That's all. I am not expecting any extra service from you. I am not expecting any extra service from you. Function is what? Function is what? Right? Function is, boss, complete the work. I am expecting a response from you. Work is done. I can see that. But after completing the work, I am expecting a response from you. Response is, boss, nothing special today. Boss, okay, today food is good. Boss, I met Ravi on the way. Okay, boss, today extra bill came. So, you done the work. After doing the work, I am expecting some response. At least you have to come and say, nothing new. Boss, I done the work. Today there is nothing new. At least you have to come back and say, there is nothing new for me. So, what I am doing? I am asking you to do the work. After doing the work, I am expecting some response from you, apart from the work what you have done. Procedure also will do the work. Function also will do the work. Apart from the work, I am expecting some extra response. Okay, that is what? Function. Function is a group of statements running together to implement a task, and it is going to give you some value. It is going to give you run value. It is going to give you run value. Right? It is going to give you run value. Are you getting my point? It is just like this, boss. I am conducting a function at home. So let's say there is a birthday function at home. You came, had your food. I offered a dinner. You came, you had your food, attended the event, left. I am not giving any return gift for you. I am not giving any return gift for you. You came, I conducted an event. You are coming to my event, attended, had your food, spent some time, leaving. Work is done or not? But I am not giving any. Now, while you are coming to function, you are expecting a return gift from me. You made a call well in advance. Boss, Satish, if you give a return gift only, I will come. Now, when you come, I have to tell the guy, boss, there is no return gift now. I'll give it later. When you come there, you are coming and implementing. You are expecting some value back. Then I'm giving, boss, I'm giving, okay, I'm giving a mobile today. I'm giving some, okay, bag today. I'm giving some. So what I'm doing, I'm returning. Work is done. You came, you spend your time, had your food, you're leaving, and apart from this work, I'm giving some value back to you. What is that? Return type. Now work is done. I'm returning something extra to you. Right. But the problem here is, two problems are there. Function and method. What is this function? What is this function? Function is, I told Prasad, go there, complete your work and come back, and I'm expecting some response from you. This guy went, had his food, coming back. While he's coming back, the chai wala met him, asked him, Prasad, how was the food? He started explaining the complete, he started giving the response. In between some, okay, that what is it? Some shop at the corner of this building, right? What is it? Some salad shop was there. The guy asked, Prasad, how is the work? He started giving the response. Watchman asked, he started giving the response. Then he came back, same response he gave me. So what is the problem here? He is giving the reply to everyone who is asking. He has done the work, he completed the work, he has gone there, complete the work. He is giving the response to everyone. There is a problem with the function. Problem with the function. What is the problem with the function? Doesn't matter who you are. If you give me input, I'll give you output. Doesn't matter who you are. If you give me input, I'll give you the output. No restriction. So everybody who is attending my function, I'm giving a return gift. Doesn't matter I know you well or doesn't know you, or you are my guest or not guest. If I see you, I'm giving it. It is a function. Method, what we are going to use. In the programming of Apex, what we are going to use is a method. What is a method? Method is also a group of statements running together to perform a task. After performing a task, you are going to give a return value. Right? Function is also returning a value. Method is also returning a value. But method can be called only with the members of the scope. Now everybody cannot call this method. Method can be called by only a restricted group of people. Method can be called by a restricted group of people. I asked Prasad, you are working for my office. You go have your food and complete. Give response only to Captain 4 people. Don't give reply to everyone. Give reply to only Captain 4 people. He went there, had his food, coming back. Same chaiwala asked, boss, what is the status? They told, are you from Captain 4 Solution? No, I will not respond to you. Because I am a method, I cannot give a response to everybody who asks, give a input. And now I am restricted to only the organization called Capital. If the Captain 4 Solution people call me, then only I will give my status. So what was that? Function is giving a response to everyone. Method is giving a response to only the scope in which you are defined. Only for the members of your scope. Are you getting my point? Method is going to return the value only for the members of the scope. The same, the watchman asks, are you from Capital? No, I will not respond. Some student asks, are you from Capital? Yes, boss, take this reply. Now, the same example with the function. I told function, boss, are you from Capital Info Solution? I'm giving only gift for Capital Info Solution staff. Other guests I'm not giving. So people came, I am asking, boss, are you from Capital Info Solution? You have return value. You're not from Capital Info Solution, no return value. Now what was that? I am giving a reply to only limited number of people. Restricted to limited number of people. In the object-oriented programming, we will have only methods. So anything that we define cannot be called by anybody. It cannot be called by everybody. It is only called by the members of the scope. Are you clear? In the object-oriented programming, we have only methods. So what is a method now? Method is a group of statements defined together to achieve a particular task. And this method can be accessed only by the members of the scope. Method is supposed to give return value. Minimum void. Minimum void means it is saying I am not going to return anything now. Minimum void means what? Now you are expecting a return value. You are expecting a response from back. I am saying void. No response now. Void. No response now. You have to clearly tell to the guy, no response as of now. Void. You are expecting a return value. Minimum you have to say void. When you say void, boss, there is no extra response right now. Are you getting my point? Right. We will see simplified version of function. I will not make it complex with all format of methods. Let us get the basics right. Down the line, we will see complexity. Now we are not going to look at different ways of defining a functions and all this stuff. I will make it a simplified format. Once you get the concept right, we'll try to enhance it down the classes. Okay. Now, what is a method? It is a group of instructions, okay, written together under one name to achieve a particular task. And that is going to return you a value minimum void. Minimum void. So what we are going to check now, only void methods I am going to check so that you get some clarity. Everybody is good. Advantage of this method. Advantage of method. Members is secondary part. First thing is reusability. First one is what? Reusability. Write it once. If the same logic I want to run, simply call the name, the logic will run. So define once, use it many times. Basic advantage is define once, use it number of times. Basic advantage is define once, use it number of times. Are you clear? Let's see. Let me give like a because I'm not doing any classes now. We are defining like a function. Okay, the way you define a function method is same, but where you define is the question. Method and function are defined same, but where you define is the question. If you define a function in the class, it is a method. If you define a function outside the class, it is a function. Outside the class, function. Inside the class, method. Right? Are you getting my point? Same thing if you define in the class, method. Outside, function. Are you clear about this? Now let me give you. It is a group of instructions. To implement statements or name is defined for the scope, which is called function name. If you want those group of statements, we invoke it. If you want those group of statements to run, we call the function. It is like define once. It is like define once, run it number of times.
Satish, you said function is outside of the class, right?
Without
So
classes,
where
it is
do we
defined.
start?
Not in Salesforce. In Salesforce, everything is within the class only. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Syntax. As I told you, I'm not explaining all the types of functions. I'll just giving basic things which you can follow first. Right. Then I'll expand it. Syntax. Return type. Return type, function name, parameters. If I say function without return type and without parameter means I have to give void. Void means I am not returning you anything new. Void. I am not returning you any value. Void. I am not returning you any value. Void. I am not returning you any value. Void function name. No parameters means it is empty. This will be empty means no parameters. Example. Void. void call me. Complete these examples. Now create all these functions. Everyone complete every statement. First get perfect syntaxes. Everyone complete the examples. Done, amma. Now void function name bracket. Now when you give this bracket, then only it is called function. So basically it is what scope. For the scope, if you give a name with these braces, it is called function. I hope you are good with this. Syntax is clear for everyone, right? Void function name, anything of your choice. Function name can be anything that you want to give. Void function name, parameter scope. Now let us write some logics in this. Create a function add, which will take two integer values, find their sum. Every function will do an action. Function is what? It is going to perform a task. What is the task it want to do? You want to take two integer values, find their sum and print. When you call any function, it will perform some action. Function is nothing but an action. Function is nothing but an action. So when you call the function, some action should be performed. What is the action I am asking you to do? I am asking you to take two integer values, add the value, print the value. Now write this code. How you do that? Void, I give a function name called add. I ask you to take two integer values, print their sum, print their value. So if I call add, what will happen? The logic what you wrote in the add will be executed. What is that add doing? Taking two integer values, making their sum, printing the value. Add. Again, if I want to run, right now I am writing a program or snippet. Snippets only, not a program. Snippet. Right, Amma? Let us give the next example. Create a function, call me, which will take name, industry, rating, and set their values. Create a function, call me, which will take name, industry, rating, and set their values and print. Complete this operation, everyone.
So Satish, inside a method, we have to define the variable data type and also assign the value in a single
Exactly.
line.
Exactly. As per these examples.
Okay.
Because we are writing only function, so we are defining inside.
Okay.
Satish, can you tell me what is the results when you debug this program? The
Whatever you are
example.
printing, it will be printed.
C value.
Yeah.
So it prints 3 times C value, C value, C
Yes.
value.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you.
Now do these examples. Void call me. They ask me to take string name. You want to give the value straight away, you can give it. Name equal to so when you call this is what is going to happen. Basically, when you call function, what will happen? It will perform an action. Whatever you write in the function, that will be performed. Whatever we write in the function, that will be performed. Are you getting my point? So if I call this, we call me. If I invoke this call me, what happens? It prints output. It is going to print Wipro banking. When I call this, it is going to perform this action. I hope everyone got it. If I call it one more time, so when you say call me, it will run all the things. Again call it, again it will run. You call how many times you call, those many times it is going to run. Wipro. I hope you are good. Okay. Now let us go to the next part of the story. What was that? Calculate. How do you do that? Void calculate. Then we are taking decimal amount, rate, integer. Then I ask you to print. Whatever the values you want to then how do you call it? Now don't write this, it will not run, boss. We have to write in the class and execute in the Salesforce. It is only a snippet of programming. I am giving a structure how to write it. When you say calculate, then now we are going to get output. What is the output we are going to get? 10,000. 2 years. Rate 4.2 interest. Right, boss? You can print it. If you give it separately, it will be easy for you to know it. So, I hope rest you can do it, right? Now, what is the problem here? Every time I call calculate, same values it is taking. I don't want to calculate the interest for every time for the same value. Sometime you want to take 10,000, sometime you want to take 20,000, sometime you want to take 30,000. In this case, what are you doing? Every time we are taking the same value and printing. Always you deposit 10,000 only. Always you withdraw 2,000 only. No. Time to time, the values will change. Now I am asking you, boss, don't take a fixed value. I will give my values. With this value, run it. Don't take a fixed values. I will give my values. With my values, you run it. Right now, you are taking a fixed value, 10,000 to 4.2. Don't take a fixed value. I will provide inputs. I will provide inputs. Based on my inputs, you perform calculation. So here we have second format, which is called method with function with parameters. Structure is clear for everyone? Everyone is good with that structure? Clear for everyone? Still anybody has any queries on that? These are basics. If you're not good with the basics, let me know, I can help you out. If you don't follow the basics, further programming will be Greek and Latin. Every day morning will come, sit and go. If you're not good with the basics, let me know, I can repeat. But if you don't follow these things, down the line when I go to programming, you'll be finding it difficult. Entire course will be Greek and Latin for you. If you're not finding difficult, you have to ask. I only know Salesforce. Face reading is not known to me. Unless you ask the question, I will not understand whether you followed or not. Okay. So if you're not followed, get them clarified. Otherwise, when I go to further programs, when you go to Apex program, it will be, you will not follow it. If you don't know, please, okay, ask the question. Now, what is that? Function with parameters. Function with parameters. What is this function with parameters? Syntax. Last people are able to see this. Is it visible? Font is visible for everyone? Last corner, right? Okay. Syntax, void, function name, parameters. Void, function name, parameters. Void, function name, parameters. Void, function name, parameters. Create a method, so which will take name as parameter. Now what I'm asking, you give me the value, I will run the operation. You give me the value, with that value I will run the operation. So that's why it is called input parameter. You are giving your input, with the input I am performing the calculation and giving output. Input parameter. You are giving an input, whatever the input you are giving, with the help of that input, I am performing the operation. Input parameter. So how you write it? Void. So what was that? Taking name. Name is of what? Data type parameter. It is taking input parameter. If you want to execute it, what should I do? Show. Now it is saying, if you call me, if you want to call me, provide a name as input parameter. If you provide me the value of name, I will run this operation. If you provide me the value of name, I will run this operation. It says void show string name. Previously, how we used to call? Like this we used to call. But now you cannot call it like this. You are supposed to pass value. you are supposed to call. So what is this? Name equal to Satish. Take name equal to Satish, run the logic. Take the name equal to Satish, run the logic. Are you getting my point? If I am giving input parameter, you are supposed to pass the value. Whenever you are calling a function, you are supposed to call the function with a value. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point? Right. Look at the next one. Example 2. Create a method. Yeah. Which will take name and age as parameter. Create a method, name and age as a parameter. Void display string 2 parameters. Parameter 1 comma parameter 2. Suppose I am printing system.debug. How do you execute this? We call display. It is error. Why? They are expecting display. Now output will come. What is the output? I told. Are you getting my point? Now the method is expecting what? 2 input parameters. You have to pass those values. What is the value of name? Satish. What is the value of age? 33. Now again I am calling. Now what I am doing? Run the method, run the function with a name as Hari, age as 23. What is the output we are going to get? So what is that? Whatever the values you are passing, with that values the operation is going to run. Again I am calling display Ravi. What is that? Run the operation with the name as Ravi and age as. So what was that? Operation is same, but your values are changing. Based on the values what you provided, it is performing the operation. Based on the values what you provided, it is performing the operation. Are you getting my point? Am I clear? Am I clear with this?
Hi Satish.
Boss, sir. I told if you create within a class, it will be a method. Format of writing is same. See, function or method is same. If I write in the class, it will become a method. Now, without a class, it is a function. Now, I am writing what? Now, I am writing what? Function.
Hi Satish.
Yes.
Satish, when we use void for a method or for any functions, it does not have any return type, like you said.
Yes.
So what does that mean? Means it's not returning any actions, or like what? Means it's not
It
bit clear.
Perform action, whatever you have defined here, it will perform. Finally, it is not returning any specific value. Whatever, when you say void, whatever we write in the function will run, but it is not going to return any specific value. It is not going to return any specific value. So if I say integer show, now it is saying run all the operation, finally return me one integer
Okay.
value. It is expecting you to return some integer value. You do whatever you want. Logic, you write the logic. After completing the logic, this is the value what I am expecting. Okay.
Okay.
Right
Okay.
now, understand, I don't want to get a confusion. That is the reason I told void. Void means it is not going to give you any extra specific value. Whatever you write, it is going to run, that's all. Whatever you write, it is going to execute, that's all. Okay.
Okay, okay. No problem.
Let's
Thanks.
not discuss about return type much more now. That will spoil the
Okay,
discussion. Okay.
okay.
Now,
Yeah,
now,
sure.
example 3. Now, what was that? Create a method, add, which will take 2 integer values as input parameters. Create a method, deposit, account number and amount as input parameter. Create a method, write the functions, invoke the functions. Right, start building these examples. Don't blindly write the syntax. Understand and write it. Everyone start building this. So let me give couple of things. What was that? Void add integer a value. Then similarly we are giving deposit, void deposit. Now I want to take a string because my account number is ICACI001. If you feel your account number is only number, take integer. Void withdraw. Now I forgot to write. Now I forgot to write. How do you invoke them? If I want to call this, how do you invoke them? Add 10 comma 10. Add 20 comma 30. Now you are supposed to call them by passing two integer value. Was right. బాగా అర్థమైందా? Now what we have? Deposit. If we say deposit, we are giving account number, you have to pass the values. Now deposit, why I have taken this? I am giving my number as combination of alphabets and digits. Now if you feel that your account number is 001, take integer. I told you, my expression, your expression may not be the same. Format of data, what I want to take, you have to decide. Then withdraw, how you call this? Withdraw system.today. Because suppose you give then I told set data. Can you create all this? I'll create one example of last. The remaining, what was this? Take two integer values. I will give void add integer a value integer a value b value. Then I'm giving integer c value equal to a value plus so whatever the a value and b value are giving, that I'm going to sum up and give. How do you call? Add 10 comma 10. What is the output we are going to get? Now output is going to be, first time when you call, a value is 10, b value is 10. Now create a method calculate which will take amount and year as input parameter. I already gave 10%. Create a variable. Create a variable and do it.
We have to create the variable inside the function.
Obviously, right? This is how I am created. Complete the remaining examples from your end. I hope everybody will followed this operation, right? Clear? So basically, one more last time. What is the purpose of a function? What is the purpose of a function? Function, basically, it is a group of statements combined together under one name. Now, when you call that name, all those group of statements are going to run. When you have same set of actions need to be performed a number of times, when you feel same set of statements to be executed number of times, when you feel same set of statements to be executed number of times, we define them like a function. What is that function? Within the flower bracket, you are going to write a group of statements. For that scope, you are going to give a name. And if you call that name, the scope will automatically run. If you call that name, the scope will automatically run. Group of statements wrapped under one scope. Group of statements wrapped under one scope. Group of statements wrapped under one scope. Are you getting my point? Am I clear with this? Clear? Right? How do you write? Void function name or method name followed by. So method and function way of writing is not different. Only where you write is the question mark. Now generally in the Apex program we write methods. We are only learning the snippets. We are only learning the snippets, not the complete program. I hope everybody followed this. Now when you call this, what is the action you want to do? You should have clarity first. Then only you can write. People who cannot write a function, they don't have clarity about what they are trying to implement. When you call this, what do you want to do? When you call this, what is the action that has to happen? If you have that clarity, writing a program is simple. Without having the clarity of what need to be performed when you call this, if you try to write a program, you will not follow how to write. So I have in text, I wrote create a method, add, you wrote add, which will take two integer values. You have taken two integer values. Calculate the sum of the value. Then I have done the sum of the value. Print it. Like this, you should have a clarity before you start writing a function. So whenever you are writing a program, have that in the class or in the these variables I want, these actions I want. Action 1, this should happen. Action 2, this should happen. If you have that clarity, then you will be able to write a program. Program is all about clarity about what you are trying to write. Right? I told you already, it's all about arithmetical operation, 5th class mathematics. Anything that you found new, till now what you found is addition, subtraction, multiplication only. Nothing new. Other some places I use less than, greater than, equal to, not equal to. Nothing. But only thing is converting your requirement. What you are trying to implement, if you have clarity, rest will be a basic mathematics. Right, boss? Chalo. See you all on Monday.